Hello there, this is Sen, and welcome back to a brand new type of video. In today's video, part 2 video, I'm going to be showing you on how to download Git and Git Bash. And once you have installed, I want you to understand these commands in Git and how to use them in your project. So enough talk, let's get right into this video. Okay, so I'm on to this website which name is git hyphen scam.com/downloads. I'll link in the bio in the description. I'll include that. So in this browser, there is other releases and other operating systems you use to download. One is macOS, one is Windows, and one is Linux, and includes the latest release, and most of it includes all of the package setup when downloading Git using the GUI command, which stands for graphical user interface. So also, if I already have Git installed, I can get the latest version, which is this here. So if you already have Git installed, so ensure that you must use this latest version. So then I can click on Downloads for Windows, and this should come up in the download bar in the section. So then click here to download, and there will be like a package file which is known as git.2.50. So this is the version, latest version. So then I click on here, click yes. Okay, let's try resume it again. Click save. Yes. Yes, and now right now it's going to install. So this is the package version now ready installed. So then click on the version, then click yes, and it shows all the information and the latest releases that I have so far. I can just click on go next and click next, click yes, next, next. So just click on next, and then also shows all the setup once it's still installing all the packages. So I already have the latest version, but this is for demonstration purposes to ensure that all beginners should remember on how you can able to install Git. And then click on finish, and also it redirects you to this page, shows all the latest updates for this release version, which is great. Then once you download the latest version, you can go to the command prompt to cmd, and you can enter git hyphen hyphen space hyphen hyphen version, and it shows all the information on what version that you're in. So currently I'm on, this is the latest version in Windows. I can also enter any other version or package. So this is Django, one of the frameworks. I can check on version. Okay, so try that again. Or I can just go on Python version. There we go. And then here's the version in Python and also in Git. Okay, cool. So once Git is now set up and it's the latest version, let's create a file. So right click and click on new. I want to create like a new project file. So this is like a demonstration purposes. So I'll call it Git version control. Let's call this as Git version control. Then I can just open the file automatically by Visual Studio Code. So then click on open file, and then go to desktop as a file. So click on home, desktop, and then find the file that you just created. There we go. And then click select folder. And now here is the file that I've created. So right now I'm going to, of course, include all of the coding for all the languages I use. And as for demonstration purposes, to set up the Git account. So I'm going to create some code in the project. So feel free to skip the video. Once I've created all the folders and files and include all the code in there, I then go to the localhost to test out to see if the buttons are functioning, and as well the background color is displayed and the text as well. So I always make additional tests to ensure all the website is working perfectly before running the commands in Git. Here are all these Git commands that is most common when all developers are working on. So you don't need to memorize all of these commands, but it's a good practice to use them in your project when working a single file code. Okay, so right now I am on my GitHub dashboard. To create the repository, you would be able to click on new. So if you don't have a GitHub account, you would of course sign in, and if you do, then that's good. So in GitHub, it has all the repositories and files that you'll be able to showcase your project to other holders, and also edit your code and make changes within the terminal to ensure that you're able to retrieve information in that task. So I'm in now my dashboard and have all the repositories I've created and more information in GitHub. So then afterwards, I click on new. We want to create a new repository. And in here, there is a new repository that you would be able to create. So that repository name, I call it my file name, which is git version or git version control. Okay. And also optional, you can include a description. So there we go. Then you put on either public or private. So if you wanted to showcase your repository to public for stakeholders, your managers, you click on public. And if you wanted to keep to your code to yourself, you choose private. So you could be able to, of course, edit your code and make changes so that you would you would change it to, of course, private. So now keep it to public. This is for demonstration purposes. And afterwards, once you have created your repository, you then click on create repository. And by the way, before we create the repository, include this README file where you would write a long description, depending how what the type of project that you're, of course, aiming to write for. Then after that, click on create repository. Now, we have just now created a repository, and it will automatically show you the initial steps on how to pull requests and also a branch. So if I go back, so this is a repository that I've just created, and here is the clone as well, where you can of course show clone your URL link to stakeholders, and as well with all other links, URL links. So then once you have created a repository, you can go back to Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm in Visual Studio Code, and you must enter this command called git.init. So that this one here, it shows that all the versions is now existed in the Git repository. And now, once it's now reinitialized, we would able to add. So git.add. Now it shows all these commands and all the files now being added to the repository. And now we would enter this command called git.commit .m hyphen m with spaces version commit. This is for demonstration purposes. The name is optional. Okay, so then next it says here I have to tell me who you are. So I have to enter my email, my name. So then I'll enter git.config and enter my global user email. So you can enter your email in this case. So for example, let's call this and also enter my name. By the way, before we continue this video, quick information. So the Git repository, as known as the git config in the command, is a tool that used to recognize your name and your email address. So the computer is telling you to enter these details to ensure that your Git repository would be recognized. And Git is requiring you to configure these informations to verify the command that you have entered. For example, when you're entering the git commit. And now let's get back into this video. There you go. So once now it's completed, then we would use this command called git.commit. So let's say if I make a change, for example, on the index, I wanted to include on a small piece of change. We call this h2. I'll say commit change. And then it shows that it's modified, meaning that I made a change in this file here, the index. So then once I made a change, I enter this command, which is called git.commit, say version commit. There we go. Now it shows that all the 3 files are now being committed because it shows one of them now has been modified. And now let's create the add button. So the git add ensures to make a change in the working directory to the staging area. So it tells Git that you want to include updates to a particular file in the next commit. Okay, cool. So once I have added, now I have to create one of the branches. So to create the branches, you use git dot branch, and you call this one as one of the main. So this is how you create the branch. And once you have created, then now you can upload the push this git.push if you want to push. So it says here when I entered when I entered git push, it shows that I need to enter the remote and add the name and URL. So I have to include the git remote. So let's follow the repository. So I need to include the URL link for that. So git.remote, add the name and the URL. So the name of the branch I've created is main, and the URL is, let's go to GitHub and find the URL link in here. So there it is. So click on code and find the URL link. So then after that, once you got the URL link, you paste it. And yeah, there we go. Now the URL now recognized, I can, once now it's configured and verified, and then click on git push and the name, which is main. Actually, no. So git.push. Okay, so I think there is an issue that I've encountered. So it says here the current branch master has no upstream branch. So to push the current branch and set the remote as upstream, use git push. So then let's follow this command. So we use git push set upstream main master. Okay. So then it says here I need to connect this one to GitHub. So sign in with your browser. So then once I've signed in, it then verifies. And yeah, there we go. Now the pull request is now initialized once I have logged into the GitHub account. So synced on the automobile. So now if I refresh, and you should see all the code displayed. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, there's no code there, so let's do git push potentially. Yep, everything's up to date. So then I can go to the git version control. So then click on branches. And this is the one of the branches I've created, and this is the code I've displayed so far. So this is how you push the code and into the repository. So this is how you push the code into the repository. So if you can pull it back, you can do git.pull and pull everything back. So then of course I want to update or edit the code. So let's say for example I want to include the fonts family. Let's say sans serif. So far it shows that it's now modified, and now I can go to git.commit my commit. So it says here changes for not staged for commit. Git add files to update will be track it. So first of all, I need to add the files before I need to commit first. So I have to do git.add. Now git.commit my commit. Oh, okay, so there's an issue. So git commit space m #m and my commit. There we go. And now once it's now committed, I can push the code into the server once all the files are added. And there we go. So then go back to the code, refresh, and now the branch is there. There we go. So here are all the code that's been committed, and now into the repository file. I'm going to wrap up this video today. This was me demonstrating the fundamentals and basics in Git and showcasing you these commands on how to run the Git repository using the Git commands. If you enjoyed this video, please hit a like. If you're new, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a video. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Take care and peace.